After several weeks of nothing, we finally have another Star Citizen video called Inside Star Citizen Preparing Prototypes. No, it's not a joke. That's actually how it's called. Folks, welcome to a channel. And again, if you haven't subscribed already and you appreciate the kind of content that I do subscribe. It's really helpful, especially for new channel like mine trying to gain a little bit more traction. But yeah, they took a several week holiday because, of course, it cannot be all hard work, new content every week as they do. They need to take a break every once in a while to, recover. But I'm sure that after this long break, they have a massive amount of new content to share with us. And yeah, it's going to be preparing prototypes. It's not a prototype. No, it's preparing for the prototype. Okay, sounds promising, right? Yeah, I'm
Welcome
sure
everyone to another episode of Inside Star Citizen, our weekly look at the behind-the-scenes development of what my mother calls that video game Jared's making whenever she explains it to her friends.
The jokes are no longer funny when it's the same joke year after year, but okay.
Quarter 3. And if you've been following this show in any of its incarnations for a while now, you know that the road to CitizenCon is a very interesting one for our weekly video content, as we skillfully avoid all the hot topics being saved for the big, now 2-day event, and use that challenge as an opportunity to explore aspects of our development that might otherwise never get a chance to shine. It's an opportunity this quarter to look at how Rastar is being used to remaster existing UGFs in Alpha 320, to explore racing a little bit, and a new ship that readers of Jump Point magazine and our social media channels probably already know is on its way. An update to Claudius.
Oh, a new ship.
Now it's being
That's
used
what
to
we
create
need, yeah.
even more immersive environments heading your way, and then a spin around the whole VFX department to see what they're up to. Yes, Virginia, it's true. There will be fire. We can do all this and more as we navigate our journey to the big 2 days in October. But up this week, and my reason for sitting here at my desk, dumping just a little bit of SCL into our ISC, is to talk to Torsten and Jacob from the EUPU feature team about the prototyping process, how they test design and programming implementations at the earliest stages, and how it relates to munching, an important component of salvage, and my nightly routine just 20 minutes before I go to sleep.
Oh, so it's the same thing we've seen for years, but it is not, right? Because this is the same bullshit they've been selling for years, which they never actually deliver, the idea of munching a ship. No, right, no.
Torsten, Jacob, how you doing, people?
Doing good.
I'm fine.
Well, I'll spare you the waste of time, going into this for like 20 minutes and just jump into the nothing that they have, which is this.
It would be more painful for you to munch because you have to stand up from your seat more often, go down to the filler station, remove the boxes. So this is definitely an issue that we be munching bigger ships. So how can we make that an interesting gameplay? Then you saw in the first video what happens when the ship transitions into the smaller bits. So the masking is a huge topic.
That's munching. That's munching. Is this something, are they just joking? Are they just playing us for fools? That's ship munching?
That we have to solve so that it feels right and you don't notice that one element pops away and another element pops in. So we definitely have to mask that.
Yeah,
just
mask
actually
that a little bit,
munching bigger ships. So how can we make that an interesting gameplay? Then you saw in the first video what happens when the ship transitions into the smaller bits. So the masking is a huge topic that we...
This is preparing prototypes of sounds about pyro, like they did a while back. They show you absolutely everything. I mean, if one of these guys gets up from his seat and prepares himself a coffee, they will do a video inside Star Citizen about how developers prepare coffee. I mean, I try to joke about it because if not, this is just too sad. But I want you guys to realize there is nothing. This is dead. There is no new content coming. There is no new gameplay. There is nothing new. There's only every once in a while a new ship to sell, and that's kind of it. And they sell you the bigger ships, but they actually develop the little ones, the smaller ones that are just more affordable to make, and the bigger ones gonna be decades, and still you won't see them. I don't know what else to say. I actually tried to play today for like 15-20 minutes. There's nothing else to do. It's always the same couple missions that you have. It's the same bunker over and over, and you have to do it 100 times so as to reach the next level where you have 3 or 4, 2-3 waves. It is. They've lost all shame regarding what they're doing at this point. To show this with a straight face, they show this.
Then. Huge topic that it transitions into the smaller bits, so the masking is a huge topic that we have to solve. And
they have the courage, the guts to criticize Bethesda, Starfield. Oh, it's gonna be buggy. Oh, it's a single player. You have no shame. You people have lost all shame. There is nothing left. There's no decency left in this company. What they are doing with people, with backers, with the money that we give them, it is embarrassing.
So that it feels right, and you don't notice that one element pops away and another element pops
munching
in.
Anything.
So we definitely have to mask that. Then what you might have seen in the first part is the conversion of materials. I don't know if you paid attention to the filler station bar that basically fills the SU crates in the backside of the Vulture, but that filled drastically faster than
all
it
year,
would normally do.
the progression in this game is this? Okay.
It would be more painful for you to munch because you have to stand up from your seat more often, go down to the filler station, remove the boxes. So this is definitely an issue that we then have to solve, because we really don't want to have this gameplay to be more tedious than it's has to be.
More tedious than it has to be. Yeah, I would be laughing too.
So we have to find a solution how we can.
So they know it's tedious and boring and there's nothing fun for us to do here. They just don't care. They're literally laughing in our faces. More tedious than it has to be. Wait a minute. Why is it that it has to be tedious to begin with? Why is it that we cannot have fun? Why is it that we cannot have nice things? The few nice things we've had, you have to take those away and make more of this bullshit. So as to what? Sell a bigger, even bigger ship that you don't actually need and it doesn't work even well. And there's nothing for you to do with it. It's the same thing over and over. There's no new content. You have nothing new. You have no new city, no new original gameplay. It's always messing around with the same salvage, hull stripping, ship munching, which is not hull stripping and it's not ship munching. It's more like spray painting in space, and now particle, diamond absorption like you have in the rock, but in space. Yeah, that is ship munching now. All right.
Like, yeah, much nicer for the player to actually remove those crates there. Then the navigation around the pieces is also something that we notice isn't that fun. So
it's not fun. Okay, around the pieces.
In this worst case scenario, a bit of a flicker as they come in, but they're finally here. So yeah, this tells us, well, in this worst case scenario, this performance is obviously unacceptable. We're going to have to do something about this. So we are thinking about how can we change our approach? How can we optimize what we've got? Discussions in various different directions. But this is a key takeaway from this prototype, because if it had gone differently, if we tried this and the pieces turned up in just a few seconds or so, then we'd have known that this approach on the whole was probably acceptable, and with a little bit of optimization, it'd work. But that's not what happened. The stuff took minutes to arrive, and that means we have to do some more serious rethinking about how we're going to approach this.
So they have to do more thinking. That's why it's called preparing prototypes, because they have nothing. They are literally doing an Inside Star Citizen about the nothingness that they don't have. They don't have anything at all. They just realize that they have to do some more thinking. Okay, all right.
Vision and the basically the acceptance criteria our directors define, they are still untouched, right? So those are still to be fulfilled, and even the overall vision that we as the team defined for how that gameplay should play out, those will be like, those are already set in stone because we all agreed on those. But how the actual gameplay then plays and feels, this is still affected by the prototype. A prototype like this is really perfect for stepping in early and making sure that every tick box on our acceptance criteria is met, and we can make a better gameplay out of it.
I think we all have a real desire and responsibility towards testing these things as often and as early and under as much duress as possible.
Yeah, more testing, more talking, more brainstorming, more thinking. You know what you have to do? You have to stop doing so much new content all the time. Come on, guys. We're overwhelmed. There's so many storylines, so many different things to keep us busy. No, you have to stop and do some more thinking. All right, let's think more about what concept of a particle, of a ship munching, of a thing that doesn't work, but maybe eventually soon, someday, we may end up thinking about some more. This is ridiculous. This is dead. As of right now, Star Citizen is dead. If you are new, okay, and I guess it's lots of people their first time, yeah, you will fly around, you will shoot a little bit here and there, but trust me, this is dead. The project is dead, and people are slowly but surely realizing that. And of course, in less than a month, guys, in less than a month, we will have a real game to play. That is exactly what Chris Roberts had been promising all along. They know it. I smell it. They're scared. We can sense this, like Starship Troopers. It is scared. The project is scared because they know that they've reached the end of the rope. They can no longer bullshit us anymore about the things that they're thinking about maybe eventually someday doing. It is impossible to continue this way. And taking money out of people and still getting busy in terms of how can we fool people into taking more money out of them. Oh yeah, I'm selling this big ship for this ship munching. Yeah, well, you just saw how ship munching works. That's all they have. They don't have anything else. If they had anything else, they would have showed you. If they had anything called Squadron, by God, man, how can people be so stupid? If this is what they're showing you right now in terms of what they have, if this is what they're showing you, can't you see that if they had anything related to a game called Squadron 42, they would be showing it to you already so as to make you believe that there's something there worth waiting for, there's something there for you worth putting even more money into this hot mess? No, they're not showing you because they have nothing. And this is just embarrassing at this point. And the only ones that are the worst fools here are us that at some point believe in these people. We believe that these people were honest. They were not, pathological liars, one time after the other, year after year, showing the same thing, lying about the same things. They don't really think about ever delivering, okay? Wake up. Fortunately, again, we have another game. I'm not a Star Citizen hater. Man, I have a pretty big-ass fleet myself. I would like nothing more than to have a great game to enjoy and play with the ships that I already have, that I'm not losing with every wipe, which is, soul-crushing, and eventually you, no matter how dedicated and obsessive-compulsive you are, even that reaches the end of the line. But there's nothing there, and the only thing I can do with my ship is, exactly. There's nothing for you to do with whatever big or small fleet you have. So don't buy any fleet at all, for crying out loud. If there's anything you can learn from my videos, is don't waste your time. It is wasted. The more money you give these people, the less they do, because they're more incentivized to do nothing other than pretend to be working on our game that they're not working. The only thing they actually really work on is a new ship, a new concept, a new ad that video to make you think that they're working on a great thing and selling you either a concept or a straight-to-fly small ship. That's the only thing that they really work on. The rest is what you see. If this is all the progress you can expect after 2 years, because we've had nothing in almost 2 years. No, almost. It's going to be over 2 years now that we've had nothing. This hull stripping bullshit is embarrassing, and people that even mention it should be embarrassed themselves. If that's the kind of progress we can see every 2 years, this will not only never be finished, there will never be any significant progress whatsoever. And when eventually you see Pyro, which I have my doubts about that, when in 5, 6, 10 years you see Pyro will be more of the same nothingness that you've seen so far. It will be Pyro, and it will be exactly what you see already and nothing more. And people will be, fed up with this yet again, and eventually this will reach the end of the line, especially with a real game, especially with a real awesome space game to enjoy, with the ships, with 1,000 planets, with base buildings, with buying homes, with real economies for you to enjoy, exploration, and eventually, very, very soon, multiplayer as well. So even if that is what you want, believe me, you will find that way before they figure out whatever preparing prototypes even fucking means. Okay, guys, see you on our next video. Take care.